Alright guys, this is my review for my 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude 1.4 liter T multi-air turbo engine with a 6-speed manual front-wheel drive transmission. This vehicle was purchased about 3 weeks ago. It is 2020, November of 2020, and this is a 2018 model. I bought it as a new old stock vehicle, just sitting on a dealership lot. I would imagine because it was a 6-speed and nobody wanted to buy a manual, but I wanted a manual, so got a really good deal on it. Paid well under sticker for it. So and it still is a new vehicle. I still have the I'm the original owner of it. I have the full warranty that came with it and everything. So this is just going to be my basic review of the vehicle. There's not really any extra trim on it or anything. It's a basic Latitude model, which means that it's one step above the base model. It does not have the panoramic roof or the sky view or whatever it's called, where you can take the center roof out. And it doesn't have the automatic transmission. It has the smaller motor. It has the 1.4T instead of the 2.4. But it's a pretty decent vehicle. I've like I say, I've had it for about 3 weeks. I've put about 3,000 miles on it, and overall I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. We'll see how it goes from here on out, but so far my initial impression of the car is it's pretty good. It does not have a lot of power, but I knew that going into it. I will be in the future looking at possibly upgrading the turbo, changing the diverter valve system, putting a high flow cat on it, changing the full exhaust system on it, and possibly a few other things. They don't really make a whole lot for these because it's a Fiat engine and it's a 1.4 liter. It really doesn't make any horsepower below 2,000 RPM. So you do have to rev the car a little bit higher when you're driving it in normal conditions. But it does have plenty of power in the mid-range. From about 2,000 to 5,000 RPMs, this thing has plenty of power and will get you where you want to go pretty much with ease. It does have a few little Easter eggs on it, just like the Wranglers do. This one actually has the exact same Easter egg as a Wrangler, and I'm trying to get it to where you can see it, but there is the 1941 Jeep Willys on the windshield, and I have a 2020 Wrangler that I bought my wife that has the exact same Easter egg on it. It also has little Jeep features from the Wrangler all through it. It has the same typical 7-bar grille for stating that it's been on all 7 continents. It has the same Jeep style emblem inside the headlight. The one on the Wrangler is made different, but it's still the same premise. The one on the Wrangler looks way better. The taillights on this thing actually have the exact same symbolism inside of the center of the taillight. It's kind of hard to see because it doesn't want to focus, but there it is in the center of the taillight. It also has it on the back deck lid. And it's got a pretty room trunk. I travel as a service technician for my job, and I have to carry a pretty fair amount of tools, and it's got plenty of room in it. If I take my tools out and fold the seats down, it does have significant amount of interior space to haul stuff with. And I am 6 foot tall. The front seat is adjusted for me to drive right now, and with me sitting in the back seat, I'm sitting comfortably. My knees are not hitting the seat. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of room, but I'm still not touching the seat. And there's enough room for another 6 foot tall individual to drive. So you could, in theory, fit 5 6 foot tall people in this vehicle with no problem. I don't know how comfortable the 3 in the back would be, but I definitely think you could fit 4 6 foot tall people with no issues. This also has the Jeep emblem made into the speaker grills, made into the rear view mirror housing. and it's got stuff all over it. Now this did come with the Uconnect stereo system. It does not have navigation, but it does have Apple CarPlay, hands-free Bluetooth, cruise control, multi-function information system. Tells you everything from tire pressure to oil temperature, trip distance, average miles per gallon, actual miles per gallon. It tells you a lot of information in there. It also came with automatic headlights. You can leave it on auto and the headlights will turn off and on based on what your ambient light setting is, and what your timer is set to will determine how long they stay on after you lock the car. Or you can manually operate it. Just turn your fog lights, or not your fog lights, turn your parking lights or your headlights on, and then your fog lights, you just push the center button. It does have an electronic e-brake. That's the one thing I really don't like about it. I would prefer a manual handbrake. But the good thing about it is if you forget to turn it off, as soon as the car senses you letting go of the clutch, if the parking brake is on, it will actually disengage the parking brake if it feels like you're trying to drive away. I wouldn't recommend it, but it does do that. So the dash is pretty interesting and pretty interactive. And it does, so it'll give you a digital speed readout, tire pressures, fuel economy, your travel. When you get into these other settings, you actually have to do those through the Uconnect stereo system. But this has Apple CarPlay, it has Sirius XM satellite radio, it has your climate control. So it's a pretty nice setup. This car does have dual climate zone, automatic temperature control, the whole 9 yards as far as that goes. It has rear defrost, rear defog, front defog, all of common stuff now. Wouldn't have been common back in the day, but it is now. I mean, it's pretty nice, easy to use interface for changing what you want to run. And you can have it to where they're synced by doing that, or you can unsync them, and now that one will stay the same, and this one you can change, or you can synchronize them again, and now they're both at 75. You can organize the apps that you use for the Uconnect on here. Don't really know what that really helps as far as going through here, because you've got them all down here at the bottom, but this is where you get into your detailed settings. Pretty easy to use. I'm not going to go through all that stuff. It does not have any auto dimming mirrors or anything like that, but I haven't received any bad glare or anything when I've been driving it at night. I do like the sun visors though, because they do, the one hang up I have is they don't go over far enough. I think that they should have been dropped down a little bit, because they hit right there and it's not quite far enough. But you can extend, and you can extend this, and it blocks almost the entire window. So the chances of getting sun in your eyes are very low in this thing. That's one good thing, because my Volkswagen that I had before this, the sun visor only went to about where this one does now. And there's so much open window left that I would get blinded when I'm driving down the highway. Other than that, this is a low-powered engine, like I was saying. It is a 1.4 liter turbo. It really doesn't have a whole lot of power at all, below 2,000 RPMs. It has enough to get you down the road, but this is definitely not a high-performance car by any stretch of the imagination. And it starts right up. Freaking obviously it's a brand new car, but it idles pretty good. It's pretty smooth when you're driving it. Put my seatbelt on, and but this is definitely not going to win any races. in its current fashion. And I don't think you could get the 2.4 liter with the manual transmission. I'm not sure, I could be wrong, but I really wanted a manual transmission. My last car, which was a Volkswagen EOS, and probably the biggest piece of crap I've ever owned in my life, it was an automatic because in 2012 they stopped offering the manual transmission, and I'm a manual transmission guy through and through. I know that automatics are more efficient, they're better gas mileage, the whole 9 yards. I know both sides of the argument. I still love driving a manual transmission, and I don't think I'll ever stop loving driving a manual transmission. It's just who I am, it's what I was raised on. Everybody has their own preference, that's mine. But like I say, this car, it drives pretty good, handles pretty good, gets pretty decent gas mileage. I'm averaging about 28 miles per gallon, which isn't spectacular, but for the height that it is, the size of the tires that it's got, and how small the engine is, I think that's pretty damn decent. And that's driving around the metro Atlanta area. Now, if I'm out on the interstate, I'm hoping to get upwards of 31, 32 miles per gallon. I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but that's what I'm hoping for. Other than that, the car has met or exceeded all of my expectations. And to be honest, my expectations when I bought this car weren't very high. I went from a pretty nice loaded out Volkswagen that, I mean, I have to be fair, it treated me good for about 80,000 miles. But after that, it was just every single thing that could break broke. And everything on that car was 3 times the price of what a normal car costs to fix, and it's not worth it. So that's what ultimately led me to this. I was still making payments on the Volkswagen, and it was costing me more in maintenance than I was paying on the car payments. So even with negative equity, it made sense to get rid of that car and to switch over to something with a warranty that's a little bit newer. I sacrificed a little bit on the creature comforts, but I'm actually pretty impressed with this car, and I think I'm gonna try and see what I can do with it. For most people that know me, they know that I don't keep cars stock very long. This is probably the longest that I've had a car that stayed 100% stock. I really don't like how the factory builds them because they build them for everyone, and I like them tuned to my individual taste. Most people may not like that. There's a lot of people that do. I'm one of them. I would much rather personalize a car to my taste, and that's the main reason I'm doing this review now, is before I do anything to change the overall drive, appearance, performance, anything to that nature, harshness, noise, and vibration, by changing motor mounts or adding inserts or doing a lift kit, doing a suspension drop, whatever direction I go with this car. Because I haven't decided if I want to jack it up and put big knobby tires on it like a regular Jeep and add the 4-wheel drive to it, or if I want to lower it, do some like 19 or 20 inch rims with low profile tires, do a little bit upgraded suspension, and then try to see what I can do on a racetrack with this thing and see if it's even worth playing with. But I'm gonna make this the end of the video. Just hit me down in the comments and let me know what you think. Let me know if there's anything that you want to have covered that I didn't cover in this video. I will add another video that describes that shows the engine and where all the components are on that. I'll also be doing videos on routine maintenance, my overall impressions of driving the car after a certain amount of miles. I'll do interval videos just giving you updates. But just let me know what you'd like to see, and we'll try and make this a regular thing. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.